Hello friends and welcome. Today we will be looking at designing a music player app, and we're going to use this app to play audio online. If this is your first time here on this channel, we are committed to show you how to design good looking mobile applications. If that interests you, subscribe now and click that notification bell so that you'll be notified when we upload awesome contents like this. Without wasting time, let's get started. So I have Visual Studio 2019 open here. What I have done is to create 3 folders to use our MVM pattern, and also I've taken time to bring in all the assets to the respective projects. Alright, so from here what we're going to do is to install the necessary plugin that we are going to be using for this application. We are going to install 2 plugins. The first one is the Pancake View. So let's install the Pancake View into all the projects. The second plugin is the Media Manager plugin that we're going to use to play our audio. So you want to be sure you select the plugin.mediamanager.forms, and I'm going to install the 0.9.0 version because I noticed there are some issues with the latest version. So I found this version to work seamlessly, so we're going to install this version. The last thing we want to do before leaving this section is to make sure that the Xamarin Forms here is updated to the latest version. So let's go ahead and install the latest version of Xamarin Forms. Okay, Xamarin Forms updated successfully. Now, if you look at this README document for the Media Manager, you can see that there are some instructions here that we have to do some initialization. So, since we're going to be using Android, let's go ahead and put this in our main activity. If you want to use iOS, you have to put this in your app delegate, and if you are using UWP, you put it in the app.xaml.cs for the UWP project. So let's go ahead and copy this. Let's go to the main activity. Right immediately after the initialization of Xamarin Forms, we want to put this. Let's resolve this namespace. Alright, So now that this is done, let's start to design our page. I'm going to close this, close this, close this. So the first page that you want to create is the landing page. Let's create a landing page. And also let's create our player page. So the next thing is to set the main page in our app.xaml.cs to a navigation page. We want to be making use of a navigation page. And passing a new instance of our landing page. Let's resolve this. Okay. Also, let's create our view models. We need 3 view models. The first one is the base view model. Let's make it public. The landing view model. And let's make this to inherit the base view model. And the last view model that we need is the player view model. Player view model. Make this public and also inherit the base view model. If you are new to MVVM and you want to see how to implement this, you can check one of my videos shown in the card above. Alright, so we have our view models. Now let's start to design our pages. We'll start with the landing page. And looking at our prototype here, we see this is our landing page. Our page is going to be divided into 2. The first part is this header part, and the second part is this music list part. So for this list, we are going to make use of a collection view. For this header part, we're going to make use of the pancake view, so we get this curved corner. And also for this button, we're going to make use of a pancake view, so we get a perfect rounded shape. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we start designing, let me quickly add a property here to hide the navigation bar so that we won't forget. Set it to false, and I'm going to do that for our player page too. And also right here, I want to set the binding context of this page at the top here. Content page. I want to set it to our view model, which is the landing view model. Then we resolve the namespace. Okay, so back to our design, we see that we have a background that is gradient. The color is gradient, as you can see from my color, my fill here. So for us to be able to use that gradient, we're going to make use of pancake view as our parent container. So let's do that. Pancake view as our parent container. Let's resolve the namespace of the pancake view to hide its namespace here. Okay, so in order to get the gradients, we have to make use of the background gradient stub for the pancake view. If you want to see how to work with gradients, you can check my video in the card above where I explain in details how to work with gradient. Okay, so this is what's going to give us that gradient. Then right here now we want to put our grid that we are dividing into two. One for the first row. The first row is going to take the header part, and the second row is going to take the music list. So right in here we have a grid that has two rows. So what we are doing is this row we are dividing it into three. We're saying that so what we are doing is we are dividing this grid into three. So this will take 1/3 of the grid, and this will take 2/3 of the grid. Okay, so we're going to make use of a stack layout to stack these two views together, this banner and this button. Okay, so for the first row we have a stack layout. Now we have this stack layout. In the first stack layout we have this pancake view, and we are setting the we're setting a corner radius. This 50 is going to give us that rounded corner on the left bottom part of the design. And right there we have an image that's going to show our recent image cover. We have a grid. In that grid, we have a box view that is showing as the overlay this background. Let me show you. This transparent background is a box view that has a height of 80. And you see, so inside, what we are doing is we have a pancake view, so we can have a corner shape. Inside this pancake view, we have a grid, and that grid is divided into two. The first part is going to take our image, and the image is going to have a row span of 2, so it's going to span all through the 2 rows. In the second row, we have a grid, and inside that grid, we have a box view. That box view is going to be at a opacity of 0.7, that is 70%. And we have a stack layout that contains the title of the recent music and the artist. Then outside this first pancake view, we have another pancake view for our play button. So we have these properties for it, and we have these gradient stubs. Then inside the pancake view, we now have the image that is showing the play icon. Okay, so that is that for the header part. That's what defines the header part right here. So the next one is going to be a collection view, and inside that collection view we have a data template that contains each of these items. So let's see what we have. So right in the second row, we're going to have a collection view. So we have a collection view that is in the second row. We are binding the source to the music list. This music list is going to be in our ViewModel, and we are binding the selected item to the selected music, which is going to be in our ViewModel too. And also we are setting this command to handle the selection change. So the first thing is, in our collection view header, we are putting in a label that is saying your playlist, just like we have in our design. And also we are setting the collection items layout to a linear items layout, vertical, and we are putting a spacing of 1 pixel in between each item, so that we can have this small line effect. Let me zoom so I can see. You can see this small line effect that is separating each item. So that's why we are spacing. We're using 1 point to separate the item. Okay, so now in the data template, we have a grid, and that grid is divided into 2 columns. The first column is going to take the stack layer that contains the title and the artist, label for title and label for artist. Then the second column is going to have a pancake view that we are using to form our button. Now, as I've always explained in my videos, if you want to have a rounded corner for your pancake view, the strategy is this: you have a height request and you have a width request. The corner radius must be half of both the height request and the width request to give it a rounded perfect circle. So that's a trick for the circle. And we have this gradient stub and we have our image button right there. All right, so and we already have our page A set to the landing view model, and what that means is that all these properties that we are setting, this recent music is going to be a property in our view model. Then this music list is going to be a property in our view model. All we're going to bind to this page. So it's going to take all those properties from the view model and bind to this page. Okay, now that we have that, let's quickly design our player page before we continue to write our code. Okay, so for our player page, let's check our design. We also have a simple design here. So looking at this, we are also going to make use of a pancake view as the parent container so that I can have this gradient background. So let's start with that. So we have our pancake view with the gradient stops, and I'm going to resolve that namespace. Okay. Then right inside this pancake view, now we'll have our grid. Now looking at this grid, looking at this view now, it's wise to divide this into three rows. So the first row is going to take this header part that looks like the navigation bar. Then the second part will take this music information. That's the second row. We'll take this music information. Then the third row will take all our player controls. Okay, so we have a grid that is divided into 3 rows. Let's do that. So we have a grid that is divided into 3 rows, and what we are doing is we're setting the first row to be auto, so you're just going to take the little space that it needs. Then we are dividing this the 2 other rows into different fractions. We want the first the second row to be a little bit bigger, higher than the third row. So instead of just putting star, we have to put 1.2 star just to add extra space for it. Okay, so now there is the row that defines the header part. That's the navigation part. Let's look at it. At this part now, we have this header part, and we want to use a grid, and we're going to divide the grid into 3 columns. There's the first column, the second column, and the third column. So we'll put this in the first column, we'll put this in the second column, and we'll put this in the third column. Okay. So right in here, we have a grid. We have a margin of 20 to give it margin all around. Then we set this to auto, this to star, and this to auto. So we are saying that this first column should take as much space as it needs. And this should take this should also take as much space as it needs, and this should take the rest. And looking at it, our button for the back button and the share button is going to be about 40 pixels or 40 points each. So this is going to just take 40, this will take 40, and this will take the rest of the space. Okay, so we're going to make use of a pancake view just like we did for our play button. We're going to make use of a pancake view for this to get a rounded circle. This is a label and a pancake view. So I'm just going to bring in the 3 at the same time. It follows the same pattern that we have been using. So we have the first pancake view here. Height is 40, width is 40, corner radius is 20. Then we set the gradient stop, we are setting the tab gesture, and we are setting to a back command. This back command will be in our view model. That's the player view model, and we put the image that has the back icon inside. Then the second column takes the label that says this should say now playing. Now playing. Then in the third column we have another pancake view similar to this first one that is binding to the share command. So when you tap on it, you want to share the music. Okay, so that is about it for the first row here. So in the first row here we have a grid that we put in, that we divide into 3 columns, and 3 columns we have the back button, the label saying now playing, and the share button. So that's about it for that. Let me collapse that so that we can see. So the next thing is what defines the album art and the title and the artist name. So here we're going to make use of a stack layout, and in that stack layout, this is what let me explain what we're going to do now. In that stack layout, we're going to have a pancake view. Inside that pancake view, we're going to have another pancake view. So that's what defines these two rounded shape. So the first one, we're going to have a pancake view, and also we're going to have another pancake view. And inside the second pancake view, we're going to have the image that contains the album art. So that is that. Then we're going to have a label, another stack layout that contains this the title of the song and the artist. Okay, so that is fairly simple. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. So we have a stack layout in the second row, and don't forget that this grid that we collapsed is in the first row. We have a stack layout in the second row, and we have a pancake view. This is a parent pancake view. I will set some properties for it. Let me just make sure that we can see. Then inside this pancake view, so this pancake view is 170 by 170. We have another pancake view inside that is 150 by 150. Then our image is also 150 by 150. Now the corner radius of this is 85. That is half of this. The corner radius of this is 75. That is half of this. Now our image is the size of this pancake view, so that we can have that clipping, that rounded effect. Because if the size is not exactly or more than this, you will not see that perfect rounded clipping for the image. So that's what we have there. And like I said, we have a stack layout that contains the artist and the title. Okay, so I'm going to collapse this. Then the last thing is the controls. So this we are going to make use of a slider, and these are pancake views. So we have a stack layout. So I'm going to show the view that contains the rest of this, and just explain. So we have a parent stack layout for them. We set the spacing to 100. That's the spacing that we want. Then we have some items. Let me just collapse. So the first thing that we have is another stack layout that contains a slider and a grid that contains the position and duration. This grid, we are not dividing it into any columns or rows, just a single grid but we are pushing this to the far left, that is start, and we are pushing this to the far right, that is end, and we are binding to the position, and we are setting our string format to this, because this is going to be the type of this is data type of this is going to be a time span. So for time span, we want it to show in this format. So we are doing the string formatting right inside the XAML, and while our property here will just be a time span. When it gets here, it's going to convert it to this string. So this is what defines this part is what defines the play head that you are seeing here. This part. So we have a slider and we have two labels. So this slider is binding to the minimum is binding to the let me show you. The value is binding to the position of our music, the total seconds of our music, while the maximum is binding to a function called maximum, which is the total duration, total second of the music. And we have to do some manipulation because of the nature of slider. If the value maximum is less than the minimum, it's going to throw an exception. So we had to do this manipulation right in our code so that just to avoid exception. You will see it when we get to our ViewModel. Okay, so that's for our the play head, and for the controls, it's very familiar. We have a stack layout that contains a pancake view. This is for the previous button. We have this pancake view. This is for the play button, and we have this pancake view. This is for the next button. As you can see, all these pancake view look similar. It's just little properties that are different, just like the command that they are binding to. This is binding to play command. This is binding to change command. This is binding to change command. So this is binding to change command, and this is binding to change command. But the parameters are different. We have P here and we have N here, and right in the code we are going to use this to differentiate which of the button is actually calling the command, is passing information to the command. Then this the image source here for the play button is binding to a play icon, and we're doing this because we want to be able to change the icon when you click on play. So it's going to be pause. When you click on pause, it's going to be play. So it's going to toggle right there in code. All right. So now that we have our pages, let's start to work with our ViewModel. So the first one is our base ViewModel. If you're familiar with MVM, or if you have watched my previous tutorial, you know that I always like to have a base ViewModel to have things that are common to all my ViewModels. So, and right here, this is what we're going to have. We're going to have our property event handler, and so that we won't have to repeat ourselves in all our ViewModels. If you want to see the explanation of what this is doing, please check my previous video where I explain MVM in details. Okay, so this is for the base ViewModel. Then let's go to our landing ViewModel. So now, and as you can see, you see that we are inheriting the base ViewModel. So everything that's in the base ViewModel comes here. Right. So for our landing ViewModel, we have some properties that we're going to use. So the first one is the music list, the second one is the recent music, and the third one is the selected music. So as you can see, let me just show you. Now we have a music list, and if you remember in our page, we are binding this to the collection view. So the type of this is an observable collection, and we are we're using it of the type music, and we'll need this model. So let's create our model right here because we've not created it. We're going to call it music, and this is going to go into our model folder. Let's call it music. Okay, so what our music is going to contain the properties of the music, such as the title, the artist, the if it is recent, and the cover image, that's the album art. Okay, so let's add this. So we have the title, the artist, the URL of the music. So like I said, our music is going to be hosted online, so we're going to be playing directly from online source. Then this cover art, each of the music will have a cover art because we are getting this will probably be coming from a database of music library or something. So you already have a cover image that is saved somewhere, you can get it. What I'm doing here is I'm setting this to a default cover image in case we don't have a cover image for any of our music, so it will not be blank. So we want to set this if it is recent. So anyone that is recent is going to show at our most recent view at the top here on the landing page. Okay, so this is our model. Let's go back to our view model. So let's resolve this namespace to use the model. Okay, so we have this music list binding to our collection view. We have this recent music binding to the recent music part of our view, and we have this selected music. This selected music is binding to our collection view, that is the selected item of our collection view, just like I showed you right here. Okay, so anytime you select the music, it passes the value to this place, so we'll be able to make use of it. All right, so now that we have that, in our view model we have a selection command. So let's create our command in the view model. Sorry, in our view rather, we have a selection command for our collection view. So let's have that command in our view model. So this is a selection command. I'm going to resolve the namespace for all this. So what we are doing is that anytime the selection command happen, you want to play music. So when you select an item, from here, you want to go to this page and play the music. And the way we are going to do that is to use a method to handle it. And the method is called play music. And in that method, what we are just doing is we are taking the selected music and we are passing it to the next page. So this is the play music method. We are checking if selected music is not null. We are if this selected music is not null, then we are creating a new view model and passing in the view model. We are passing in our selected music and the music list. Then we are now setting the binding context of the player page. Let me resolve this namespace. The player page to view model. Now, as you can see, even though we have a view model for our player view model, it's complaining that it does not take 2 arguments. So the way we want to do this is we want to pass in the selected music and the music list to our player view model because we are going to be making use of it. We are going to make use of the selected music. That's what we are going to be playing. However, if you click on next music, you want to know the music that is next in the list. So we still need the music list object to be passed to the player view model. Okay, so I'm going to add all this in the constructor. So generate a constructor with a field. So if I go to my view model now, you can see that it has generated this constructor with this field. So this field, we are going to make use of this field later on for our properties, because we're still going to bring in the properties right here. So let's be done with this first. Okay, so now in order to get we are binding our landing page to the view model here, but we need to be able to show music from music on our page. So we need a method to get all the music. Now this method, normally you probably want to get your music from a database, just like I explained, or from somewhere, a music library somewhere. But for the sake of demonstration, I've decided to return a collection here that has a name, the title, and the name of the artist, and where the file is hosted, and the link to the cover image. So as you can see, we just have two music that has cover image, the rest does not have. So they're going to take the default cover image that I set as the default in our model. As you can see, let me just show you again. So this is the default cover image that I'm setting. Okay, so now with this, now we are done with our player view model. Sorry, with our landing view model. Now for our player view model, we need this property. So I'm going to remove this. So let me remove this these fields, but I'm going to bring them back. I want to arrange them the right way. So this is the field again, and we have this property. So what we are doing is we are setting this music, this music list that is coming, that we are passing when we instantiate this player view model. We are passing it to this property here, and also for the selected music, I just want to copy because I already have it here. For the selected music, we have the same property and the same field. So we are passing what is coming to the property right here. Okay. So still for this, we need to add some other properties, such as the duration and the position. Duration, position, and maximum. So let's check. As you can see, we have duration, we have duration, position, we have maximum. These are properties that we are binding to our page, to our view. So right now, our player view model, we need to have all those properties. So the duration and position is going to be of type time span, and so we have duration, time span, we have position, time span, and we have maximum. So we are setting the default to 100, and we are saying if the value that is coming is greater than 0, that is when the maximum should be set. We are doing this, like I said, to avoid exception in our code, because the nature of slider is that when the maximum is less than the minimum, or is equal to the minimum, or the current value, is going to throw an exception. So we want to use this to undo that. All right. So the last property that we're going to, the last two properties that we're going to have is the is playing. We want to be able to check if it's playing, currently playing, and also our play icon. That is the icon for our play control. And what we are doing here is, anytime this is playing property change, we want to update the play icon. So if it is playing, then it should show pause. If it has been paused, it should show play. All right. So as this is long now, I want to put this in a region so that we can collapse it. So let's do region and call it properties, and right at the end of the properties here, I think I'm missing a semicolon. Am I missing, or is it, am I adding? 1, 2. Okay, the end region is what it's expecting. All right, so let's do our end region. Okay, so with this now, we have a region called properties, so I can now use this region to collapse all our properties. Okay, if you need it, we can always come back to expand it and see what our property is, but I want my screen to be neat. So I just hope you're able to get it up to that point. Now, the next we want to do is all our commands for the player page. So as you can see, for the top here, we have the back command, we have the share command, and for the for the next, previous and next, we have this change command. For the play, we have play command. So we need to do that in our player ViewModel. So we have the 4 commands. So we have the 4 commands. The play command is going to call the play method. The change command is going to call the change method. And for the back button, we are just going back. We are popping the navigation. We're going back in the navigation stack. For the share, we're going to be using the Xamarin Essentials, which you have by default anytime you create a new project. So the plugin is already installed, Xamarin Essentials. So we have the share class, and we want to share the music URL and the title. So you can share this on Facebook, Twitter, and all other platforms that is available. Alright, so for our play method, what we are just checking is we are checking if the current player, that's the cross media player, that's the plugin that we're using to play. If it is currently, if it's playing, that is, if it's playing is equal to true, then you should pause. Else, you should play. So we're going to be using this to play music. Okay, so then the change music. Let's have the change music. So the change music is just checking if what is coming is P, that is if the previous button is what is sending the command, it should go to previous. If what is sending is the next, it go to next. So let's have the previous and the next method. And what we are just doing in our previous and next method is to check the index of the current selected music, and if the current index is less than the count of the music, then you should just add 1 to it and play. But for the previous, we are checking the current index and check if it is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, just -1 and play the music. Now for our play music method, so we have a method here that's called play that takes the music object, and what that is doing is going to play our music. So don't forget that our music has the URL, another information there. That's our model here. Let me show you. We have the URL, and when we bind data in our landing, as you can see these are the URL for the music. Okay, so what we are doing is because we want to still make use of this media info, we are passing in the current media manager into this variable, and the first we are going to do is to play the music and pass in the URL, and we are saying if the URL is not null, we should play it, and we await it playing. Then we set the is playing to true. Then we are checking if the media, so from this media info we are handling the media finished event. We are saying if it has finished, then its playing should be false because it's no longer playing. Then it should play the next music. And if you're looking at next, our next here is saying check the current index of the selected music. If it is less than the count, then play. So what we are doing is, we are trying to play like a playlist. So if you start from the first one and you are playing, it plays the second, it plays the third, and it plays until it gets to the end of the playlist. That's what this would do for the continuous play. Then for us to be able to update our slider, we are making use of a timer for every half a second, that is 500 milliseconds. I am taking this duration, that's our duration property. Let me show you, if you have forgotten. Our duration property here, let me collapse this back. And we are passing, it's of type time span. We are passing in the duration of our media info. So that was going to extract the duration of the music that you are playing. So I can display the duration on the page. Let me show you again. On our player here, this is the duration, and we're going to want to show it in minutes and seconds. So the same thing for the position. For the position, we are getting the position right here, and for the maximum, we are setting the maximum at this point. So don't forget, at this initially the duration is going to be 000. That's why we don't want to pass in the duration directly to our slider, because I explained that it's going to throw an error. Where is our slider? Okay, right here, the maximum. So, but at this stage now, we are sure that we have a duration, so we are passing it to the maximum. And don't forget that even in our maximum, let me expand this again and show you. In our maximum here, we're already checking if it's greater than 0. So it's not going to bother to update if it's not greater than 0. Okay. Okay, so that is for our maximum position. So this will be updating the slider and also be updating the current position. So if your music is playing and you are currently at say 30 seconds into the music, then the position is going to show as 0, 0, column 30, and the slider will be at the appropriate value. Okay, so for this to play immediately that we construct this view model, by the time we are passing the selected music to this page, right from the landing view model at this point, that we are passing it, we want the music to play instantly. So we're going to do it right at the constructor here. After setting all this property, then what we're going to do is to play the music. I'm going to remove this one. Remove it, because immediately you are playing the music, it's already setting its play to true. Okay, so that is what we have. We are playing right at the computer and passing the selected music. Okay, so it's going to play our music. All right. So before we'll run this, I just remembered something. For our landing page, also the landing view model, we want to make it such that once this is loaded, instantiated rather, we want to be able to have lists from lists on our page. And if we look at it now, we don't have anything. So we're going to create a constructor too, right here. Constructor, and we're going to by the way, for just in case you don't know what I'm doing, let me just show you what you can do. If you want to create a constructor, just write ctor, then you do tab, you have this. Okay, so right here we want to have our music list to get the music from this method that we created and pass it to our music list, so that when we are binding this to the view, we'll have music to show. Then for our recent music also, we are checking from our music list where is recent is true, and want to take the first or the default value. So I'm going to resolve this. This is a link using statement. Okay. So that is that for the landing page. So at this stage, now we have our music player all done. Let's run and see what we have. Okay, so we have the application running. As you can see, we have our recent music here, and let's play one music and see. Okay, so we have our music playing. So we have our music playing. I'm sure you can hear. Well, it looks like our view is not updating. This could be a lag in the emulator. Let's play next view. Let's play the next one. Okay, so the emulator seems to be lagging, and I have decided to run it on my device and see. So let's play music. We can go to the next music. This is also playing now. Alright. So before you go, if you notice, at the top part here, this recent music, I have not handled it. I deliberately left it out. So what I want you to do is to undo this play button for the recent music at the top part here, and tell me in the comment below how you're able to achieve it. Alright, thank you very much for watching this video, but before you go, I want you to watch these two other videos displayed on the screen. And also, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel and click on that bell notification icon so that you get notified anytime I upload new content. Also, share this with friends and colleagues. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.